topic is on the Jing, Qi, and Shen of tonic herbs. So tonic herbs are superfoods that contribute to your radiant health. They work on your physical body, on your hormones. They work on your emotional body. They make you feel better. They make you adapt to stress and environmental or emotional stresses better. And they also raise your spiritual level. Or they say after a while of using the tonics on the Shen category, you'll have higher evolutionary thinking. You'll want to do good for mankind. It'll also pull you out of a job that you don't like or a relationship that you don't like because your spiritual quest will move forward. So this is an exciting topic. It's not often talked about, and it's very interesting. So the terms Jing, Qi, and Shen are terms that are often used also in acupuncture or Qigong and Tai Chi. But in this case, we're going to use them for herbs. So Jing is the first treasure. Jing translates to hormones or essence, and it's the regenerative quality. Jing is the fundamental of life. It's the tissues, it's the action, it's the deepest source of energy in the body, and is associated with our genetics. So some people believe, or some sciences believe, that maybe we can't change our genetics, but with tonic herbs and the Jing ones, we can definitely start to fortify or deepen our ability to have more endurance, more energy, and adapt to, again, these different types of stresses. So a couple of the tonic Jing herbs that I really like is Goji Berries, is one of the awesome Jing tonics. Now some of them are Jing, Qi, and Shen. So sometimes they'll cross over, or sometimes they'll be good for all three. So I'm just going to give you a couple off of each category. So Goji Berries are an awesome Jing tonic. They're like a superfood or a superfruit, very high in vitamin A. They're known as wolfberries, very good for the skin, very good for the eyes. Lots of bioflavonoids, so they're very good for the cardiovascular system and circulation, the capillaries, the veins. They're also just overall incredibly nutritious, so they pack a powerful punch of how small they are. You eat a handful of goji berries, and that's a lot of nutrition that would be hard to find eating common foods. Another one that I like, of course, is the He Shu Wu. This is the one that I usually will put people on first if they haven't been introduced to tonic herbs, because it's very rich. It has a lot of organic iron compounds. The root, sometimes the He Shu Wu, which translates to him, Mr. Black Hair, so it's very good to darken the hair or keep the hair nice and shiny and healthy. It's very good for the kidneys. So in Chinese medicine, the kidneys are the source of energy and endurance and stamina and these type of qualities. So adding the He Shu Wu can all of a sudden give someone a little bit of more energy, a little bit more energy to complete work tasks or to work out more. So this little extra energy is very highly sought after when you look at it just a little bit more. When other people are going to sleep, you're staying up a little bit longer, or you sleep a little bit less, or you just have a little bit more mental fortitude and energy to complete chores around the house or whatever it may be. So He Shu Wu is a fundamental Jing tonic, really building you up. And often, a lot of the times when people come in and they want to make changes in their diet or changes in their lifestyle, if you don't have good Jing energy, that's also associated with the kidneys is the willpower, the ability to enact or to take action or to complete task. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to build up someone's Jing quality energies. So then if you're going to show them something else to do, you're going to teach them Qigong, or you're going to show them how to make a lifestyle change or a dietary change. Now they actually have the willpower and the oomph to make that change. So these are some of the things that will happen when you build up this Jing. Also, it's associated with longevity and youthfulness and long-term vitality, mental energy, the reproductive system, the immune system. Jing energy also supports our skeletal system, our sensory functions, and the ability to hear. The kidneys are associated with the ears and the kidneys. So if you have like ringing in the ears, if they're high pitch or low pitch, it might be associated with your kidneys, and there's different ways to tell with that. But again, overall, it's this willpower, it's this determination that you get when you have strong kidneys. So Jing energy is depleted by living life itself, and especially depleted from stress. So if you have too much stress in your life, from work or from relationships or environmental stress, you live in a harsh climate, really hot or really cold, can also deplete your Jing energy. So sometimes they use the analogy of like a bank. When you're born, you have a certain amount of Jing coins in the bank, and we all expend a little bit, but when you add multiple things, like when you don't sleep good and you didn't eat good and you have like a emotional argument, you have sudden changes in weather, when you add in multiples of these stress inducers, then that's what really depletes us, and that's really what basically gets us sick too, because there's viruses and bacteria around us all the time. So it's only when our immune system collapses or our Jing essence gets weak, there's some other things that happen. Our Wei Qi fields get weak, and that's what protects us. So keeping your physical health and vitality at a radiant health level or an exuberant health level should be the first and foremost on everyone's plan of action for health. The next one is Qi tonics. Now, the most popular of all Qi tonics is ginseng. So I'm sure everyone out there has heard of ginseng. They say it's the king of herbs. But it's really good for moving the qi. It affects the lungs, it affects the spleen. So it's really good for moving the qi, just like Qigong is great for moving the qi. A couple other ones, or the astragalus is another great herb that I use often to improve the Wei Qi fields or improve the energy circulation through your body. It also can help with flexibility. But the qi is the second treasure. And it's translated as vitality. Qi is the energy of life that we acquire through breathing and eating. This like fire qi, this combustible engine power that we get. So the deeper we breathe, a lot of times that's a prescription for people with digestive problems. So the deeper you breathe, the more life force you draw into your body, the more energy circulates through your body. And so this is really important. And also when your qi levels are good, your emotional levels are good. So when your qi levels go down, then you might be more prone to the acquired emotions of like anxiety and fear and worry and anger and sadness. As when your qi levels are strong, you're more likely to be living in the virtuous state of beings, which is trust and self-knowledge and patience and inner peace and tranquility and courage and integrity. These virtues give you more energy if you can get onto them. So just by being a good person, they say you'll have more energy. Something that I've come up with, if you look in movies or in history, and when the guys were really virtuous, like when they were really loyal to the kings or to the emperors, those guys were very hard to kill, and they also had everlasting energy. So if you can make your life and live your life more virtuous, you'll also have energy. Or the other way around. Use some of these qi tonics to build up your qi levels, and then you might also notice a change in your emotions. So it's definitely scientifically proven. If you don't sleep really good, you wake up the next day and you're a little bit more pessimistic about life. So when you all of a sudden you have more energy, have you ever met anyone that has energy and depressed? That's usually a hard combination. So again, the more qi energy you have, the more vitality, the better outlook on life you have, the better, clearer, virtuous emotions that you're living in on a daily basis. It's this day-to-day health and vitality that we attribute to the qi. And also very good for the digestive, respiratory, immune functions. And all these things are nourished when you take the qi tonics. Now, my favorite qi tonic, of course, is the stress balance that I made. It has 7 different organic herbs in it, nourishes the adrenals. Very, very good for if you know you're going into a stressful situation, you can take this, or afterwards you can take this. And it's just going to give your body these nutrients that you're not going to find in common foods, even if they're organic foods. You're just not going to find these type of compounds that work so well with our bodies. So kind of like sometimes the overall theme of these tonic herbs is forgotten foods. Because the regular supermarkets don't sell them anymore, we've kind of forgot about them, and we've lost in touch of how good like other foods are for us, like roots and barks and these other types of fruits and nutrients and flowers that are actually very, very good for us. So that is what the Qi tonics are good for. And lastly is the Shentonics. So the couple of Shentonics is the login fruit, and probably the most popular of all Shentonics is the mushrooms, the reishi, especially the wild. The wild ones have more Shen quality. So reishis actually are good for Jing, Qi, and Shen, but the wild ones are specifically because they've had to adapt more, they have more of this Shen quality. So the third treasure is the Shen treasure of tonic herbs, and it's the energy of consciousness and awareness. It's the energy of higher evolutionary thinking. Again, what I mentioned earlier, it's the will, the drive to want to do good for the planet. Not just yourself, but actually want to help people. The more tonic herbs you take, in general, they say, pretty soon, if you're in that stuck job or you're in that stuck relationship, you're going to get out of that because you're not going to be satisfied with that. You're not going to allow that anymore in your life. So all of a sudden you start taking these, you start getting new ideas, new ambitions, and this is something that I've seen happen. I've read it, and this is something that I've seen happen. It's usually about 2 years in. Just depends on what people did with their life before, depends on what their diet was before. But yes, is one bottle going to change your life? No, but because I think when you start taking these, there's also some lifestyle changes you make. You're going to take the time to take it. Maybe you're going to make it into a tea. This takes time. And whenever we take time aside to do something specific for our well-being, then all that actually, it doubles or it quadruples its benefit. So, you can pour hot water over tea and drink it, or you can envision like this tea going to be really, really good for you. And as you drink it, then we know the power of affirmations and visualizations, imagination, the power of prayer, the power of faith. All these can be proven scientifically. So some of my other classes and courses, I'm starting to really tie in like the science of neuroplasticity and imagination with Qigong. So that way people right off the bat can believe more in what they're doing when they start. And I'm starting to see a real benefit from allowing people to see that first before they start their training. So there's no precise translation of Shen. Sometimes it's translated as spirit, but that's not really a great one, especially if it's in the West. We might think of spirit. Some people might not even believe that we have a spirit. So the Shen is more than one word. It's like this combination of this righteous, upright person that's doing good, and also the Shen moves forward and creates things in life. So the Shen is constantly moving forward. How do you get out of your Shen? Thinking about too much of the past, thinking about too much in the future. So the Shen likes to be present. It loves to create. So the more you're creating, producing positive things into the world, the more you're living with your Shen. So a person with a strong Shen is one who is calm and peace, strong-minded, aware, clear-centered, deeply intelligent, and profoundly happy. So it's a great way, to really tell if you see someone that they live in every day in joy and contentment and inner peace and harmony. Doesn't matter how much money they're making or anything like that, or what's going on in their life. The stronger the Shen, the more unbreakable that mindset is. So for me, Qigong has been really good for me. And the tonic herbs have been really good for me. And I have stresses just like everyone else in life. But I notice that I hear it, but I'm still underneath all that. I'm still in this very good content. And I'm not just saying that to toot my horn. I'm really just saying that as like a testimonial of myself taking these tonic herbs over the years and doing Qigong and Tai Chi, meditating and get out to nature. These are the things that have, at this point have fortified my spirit and my mentality. Nothing, no matter what happens in the world, I still have this very optimistic outlook on life. It's very, very important. So a person who is kind, generous, and giving, who has a big heart is said to have a lot of Shen. Great Shen manifests his great love. From a spiritual perspective, Shen is the ultimate treasure. So there's a really good way that, well, how do we increase our Shen? So there is some tonic herbs. We also increase our Shen by helping other people. So I've trained with a lot of great spiritual teachers, and at the end of the day, it boils down to gathering good merit or doing good merit on this planet. So good acts of kindness, or small acts of kindness, big acts of kindness, helping other people. Anything that you do that helps other people, helping yourself, then you are increasing your Shen, and that's the ultimate way to do it. So, these herbs are great to take singly, but, one way that I really like to do them is to create them in these desktop botanicals. So today that's what I added in here. I added some of the Goji Berries, a couple squirts of the Supreme Energy, the Hishu Wu, the Logan Fruits, and the Stress Balance. So you don't have to add them all. You can always pick and choose, or you can use one at a time, or you can make your own favorite combinations. And these things are not only superior in their nutritional profile, superior in their bioavailability to get them actually into your body, so way better than any multivitamin or any supplement that you can take, isolated supplements especially. And again, that whole act of making the tea, looking at the beauty, taking a moment to smell its beautiful aroma. And from the first to the last sip is absolutely beautiful and incredible.